question from Shane Gilster, Huskers Illustrated.
Great win. I haven't been that happy in a Husker sporting event for quite a while. I'm sorry. I clapped after Sam made that shot.
Thanks,
But
Shane.
No one was around me, so I thought that was appropriate. But Coach, talk to me about that third quarter. You only allowed 7 points. Was that the turning point, you think, in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I really thought that gave us some momentum for the game, and just to come out in that second half and to be able to kind of be locked in and keyed into game plans. And I thought the biggest key was just we were ending defensive possessions with defensive rebounds and securing those rebounds, and that was critical and really important to kind of spark us and give us the lead that we needed to kind of sustain that game.
Brent Wagner, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Sam as a scorer, but she also leads you in rebounds. Just talk about her to get the rebound there on that last play and to come back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, she's a warrior, and we feel like she just keeps getting better and keeps getting better and keeps showing ways. I think one emphasis we put for Sam this whole year is to not have to put a bunch of pressure on herself to have to score in order to be special for us. And I think she's really embraced that. I challenged her in one of our early season meetings to lead our team in rebounding, and I felt like she's capable of doing that. And so far she's, we have a couple kids on the team that want to challenge her for that title, but I think that she's really embraced that, and she knows that she can really help our team by rebounding. She can help our team by handling the ball and controlling tempo and things like that. So just really proud of her. That game winner was special, but she had an awesome take where she finished a layup, missed the and one free throw, but it's a couple big buckets down the stretch, and just I think shows the warrior that she is.
Sam McEwen, Omaha World-Herald.
Amy, you still only had 8 players today, so the sheer effort of your team, not only today but against Purdue, like how gratifying is it to see them play as hard as they have the last couple games that they played?
Yeah, it's pretty gratifying, Sam, and I think one thing we've been talking a lot about as a team is, I know that sounds a little silly, but we talk about what makes a redwood forest tree so special, and it's kind of the intertwining roots and that just ability to kind of really hold each other up in rough times and to be able to really kind of stay together. And I thought that really was on display today. I think our kids are really buying into that. They're playing hard on each possession for each other because they don't want to let each other down, and that is a rewarding thing to watch them just continue to fight.
Did you think they would respond to adversity the way they have?
To be honest with you, I really didn't know, Sam, how we would, but we had been preparing so much. I think, we've talked about how sometimes you can really just speak things into existence, and if you find things to complain about, then you're going to have things that happen in your life that you will want to complain about. But one thing we've been talking about since literally June, when we had our first team Zooms together and stuff, was being the best at handling curveballs, knowing that there was going to be a lot of things that were going to come our way, not knowing exactly what that would look like, but how do you respond to that? That's going to define character. That's going to define who we are. So I was hopeful that our kids would really embrace that and handle and respond well. We certainly have had different adversity than maybe we've expected, and probably a little more than we really have wanted. But one way or the other, I think they have really handled it well, and part of that is just great leadership.
Derek Peterson, Hale Varsity.
Hey, Amy. There at the end of the third quarter, I guess had a 7-point lead. I think it was 49-42, I think is what the score was. And they hadn't hit a shot yet in that third quarter. And then they get a free throw, they get the steal off the inbounds pass, and they get another bucket. And then instead of a 7-point lead, it's a couple possessions going into the fourth. Did you say anything to your team about that little that stretch to close out the fourth quarter? To close out the third quarter?
Derek, that's certainly not the way we wanted to close out that third quarter, but they already knew that, and they were already beating themselves up about that, and whatever. So all I just said was reminding them that when we inbound, we don't have to get the ball directly into our point guard. We have multiple options to get the ball in when they're pressing, and you're fine. Let's move on to the next play, and that's really what the communication was after that end of the third quarter. series.
Shane
Yeah, follow up
Gilster.
to-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Derek.
Okay. So you've been shorthanded a lot, and most of the people that you haven't had available to you have been perimeter players or guards. You got Ruby back for this game, and so for stretches there, you had a lineup that had 3 perimeter players on the court. Did it feel like there was more space with that?
I really didn't notice that. I think that to be quite honest with you, I think Izzy's done a fabulous job of just bouncing back and forth for us and adjusting. And I think she poses some problems. She put us in some positions to really attack them inside where maybe they didn't have quite the size and things that we wanted. And then when we were able to bring in Ruby and Witt, and they were able to kind of contribute and spread the floor a little, and Ashley Scoggin hit a couple big threes, and Witt hit a couple big threes, and Ruby hit a big three. And I think that, all that contribution kind of helps. It just gives us a chance to kind of be versatile and mix things up a little bit. But I think Izzy's done a great job of continuing to keep the floor space for us, and she hit a huge three at the top of the key, and I think she's just continuing to gain confidence to help us continue to keep that floor spaced.
Shane Gilster, Huskers Illustrated.
Yeah, kind of off that point, Coach. Whitney Brown came in the, I think, second quarter, hit 2 threes, 2 for 2. Talk to me a little bit about her. What kind of spark does she bring to the team?
Yeah, well, I haven't made a secret about, Coach Love kind of nicknamed her Deli. She's just a hustle player, kind of a little water bug that's everywhere out there on the court. She sparks us in a lot of different ways. But, we had some conversations after the Purdue game about just expectations and knowing that, we feel like she can spark us with offense when she stays aggressive-minded offensively. And she's been in the gym working really hard. And I thought her minutes today on her birthday, very fitting. She came in and really played well. Not just the 2 big threes that she hit and the confidence, but the confidence to handle the ball and break pressure and not turn it over and just be solid with the ball. And I think she got a steal there in the second quarter as well, just making some hustle plays. And that's what she does in practice every day, and that's what we're going to continue to look for out of her.
Brent Wagner, Journal-Star.
You guys led by 7, and then Northwestern keeps cutting into it. Are you kind of looking over your shoulder at that point to see if you're going to get Sam back at any point in the game?
Well, I knew that we have an incredibly capable athletic training staff that would do everything in their power to help try to get her back out there as soon as she's capable. So I completely and fully trusted that they would be working frivolously to make that happen. I'm grateful and thankful for their efforts in that. But in the meantime, I was really just kind of engulfed with the players that were on the court and keeping them confident. I knew that Northwestern would pick the heat up in the backcourt just because of the game's circumstances warranted it, but also without our primary ball handler on the court, that they would probably try to heat things up a little. And so I was just trying to stay engaged with the remaining team until Sam was able to get back with us.
Any other questions for Coach Williams? All right, if there's no questions for Coach Williams, we'll let her go celebrate a Happy New Year, and we'll bring in Sam Hybe and Isabel Bourne in a moment.